Students, today we are going to discuss about the cyclotron. Now cyclotron is a device. It is being used to accelerate positively charged particles, and like for example protons, neutrons, and the energy given to it is very high energy is given to it, and that is the reason it can be used for the disintegrations experiments. And it was this device was it was devised by Lawrence in the year 1932. Now if you get to see the construction, so what exactly is cyclotron? It is a device which will help in accelerating the positively charged particles. Just remember, I'm referring the word positively, so be very specific about it. So here it is being accelerating positively charged particle to a high speed so that the process of disintegration can take place. Now if you get to see the basic construction of the cyclotron, there are two Ds, what we call its D. It is in the shape of D. There are two discs, D1 and D2. You can see here D1 and D2, they are in the form of D. The target, after emerging out from this, it's hitting the target. Whatever charged particle you take, the charged particle is being taken at the center, and then it hits the target from here. So these are the two plates, and the magnetic field direction is given by this, and here it is the oscillator from where we are getting the signal. Now the basic things that you need to understand here, that when this is being based on the concept that when the charged particle moves at an angle of 90 degree with the velocity is at an angle of 90 degree with the magnetic field, so no longer it remains into that trajectory, but it follows a circular path. So it is being based on that particular principle. And here the D1 and D2 is called the Ds, and there is a very small gap between them, and alternating potential difference of the order of 10 to the power 5 volt is applied, and the frequency that is being given is 10 to 10, generally 10 to 15 megacycles per second, and the magnetic field is of the order of 1.6 Tesla. So this is the source which is created at the center, that is the center between the Ds. It consists of a small chamber containing a heated filament and a gas such as hydrogen or protons or deuterium. The thermions given out of the filament produce positive ions by the ionizations of the gas. Now when we see the theory or the working, this is regarding the construction of the cyclotron. When you have to understand the theory and the working, then suppose if we consider M as to be the mass of the ion source, and if we have got Q as the charge, the basic criteria is that whenever the current is being given, whenever there is a source given from here, one times D1 becomes positive, the other times D2 becomes negative. Once D1 is positive, to D2 is negative, and vice versa keeps on changing. So the positive charged particle is always attracted towards the negative, and as a result it keeps on moving and it gains a very high speed and hits the target. That is the basic things that you need to know. D1 is positive, D2 is negative, and then when D1 is negative, D2 is positive. So this way, and the charged particle will be attracted towards the negatively charged plates. Now here what we find that the radius is given by the formula R is equals to mv divided by qb. Now here R is the radius of the path, and V is the speed, that is constant speed. V is the constant speed, Q is the charge of the ion source, B is the magnetic field. Now in this case, the time taken, as because the circle is not complete but it is half the circle, so the time period, if I have to say, take out the time required by the ion to complete a semicircle, So in this case, if it is semicircle, so we will not write 2 pi r, but rather we are going to write pi r divided by V. So if we substitute the entire things, we are getting pi m divided by qb. Okay, this shows that if you get to see the equation, it gives you an idea that the time taken is not depending upon the velocity. You can see this equation, it is pi m by qb. So the time taken is not, it is independent of this v. So it is not depending upon the speed of the ion and the radius of the circle as well. So it is only depending upon the mass, the charge, and the magnetic field that has been applied. Now here there is a case what we call the resonance. Now we all know that the cyclotron operates under the condition of resonance. Resonance means the frequency of the applied potential difference must be equal to the frequency of the circular revolution of the ion. It simply shows that whatever frequency the ion will achieve, and whatever frequency is given the applied frequency, they should be match each other, so that there is the condition of resonance. So that condition is F naught is equals to F. So if we get to know F, that is the frequency, here T is given, so it is 1 by 2T we can take, so it is QB divided by 2 pi M. What we are getting, 1 by 2T is equals to QP divided by 2 pi M. So we can write the resonance frequency as equals to QB divided by 2 pi M. So this is the resonance frequency you can see, and the resonance frequency is again depending upon the charge, it is depending upon the magnetic field, it is depending upon the mass of the ion. Now there are certain limitations of the cyclotron. There is certain limitation of the cyclotron. What is the first limitation? The very first limitation of the cyclotron is that it cannot accelerate the particles to velocity as high compared to the velocity of light. So if we want that the charged particle should have velocity when it comes out should be as high, or it should be comparable to the velocity of light, it is not possible, because mass of the particle increases with the increase. In here we are keeping m as constant, but if from the theory of relativity we have m equals to m naught under root 1 minus v square by c square. So in this case mass no longer remains same, it changes because it comes with the comparison with the speed of light. So we cannot use the formula in that condition. Okay, so that is the first limitations of cyclotron. The second limitation, it becomes very important to know that it cannot accelerate the uncharged particles. So the particles needs to be charged, because you can very well see that it is getting attracted towards the opposite field. It means if you have created a positive charge ion, then it is getting attracted towards the negative. So that is very, very important. The third condition, cannot accelerate electrons. This is very important to know, that the cyclotron cannot accelerate electrons because of the condition, because the mass of electron is very small. We have got y naught electrons, because mass is very small, and there are chances of acquiring very high speed. As a result, what can happen? Instead of hitting the target, it will go out, it will outshoot, and it will hit somewhere else. So this is the reason the electrons are not considered. This is the very important condition for the electrons not to be taken as a charged particle or the ion source for cyclotron. Moreover, the kinetic energy of the particles associated with that is being accelerated in a cyclotron can be given as equals to, we have k equals to half mv max square. So if we substitute the entire relation, we are getting this as q square b square r square by 2m. We are getting v max, that is the maximum velocity, as equals to q b capital R divided by m. So here small r, let capital R is the outside radius of the disc. Okay, capital R, what is the difference between small r and capital R? Capital R is the outside radius of the disc. So when you consider this, you make it very sure that you have taken capital R when you are doing with the kinetic energy, and that is the radius of the outside radius of the disc. Not because you can very well see that the radius are not same, it is changing. So it is for the outside one that has been taken out here. I hope you have understood about this cyclotron, and it's a very important device, very important device, because it is used practically many places, and you should know about cyclotron, because when you do with the high charge particles or the particle physics, there the importance of cyclotron becomes very important. So I hope you must have understood. Thank you for watching the class.